Hey everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com here today with episode 50 of the Humble Mechanic Podcast. In case you can't tell, I'm super excited about episode 50. You know, it's one of those milestones. It's like, it's not a million, it's not huge, but man, 50 sounds so cool, and I'm really excited to be at 50 today. Each one of these shows that I do, it seems to get just a little bit more fun, and I try and have a little bit more fun with each one and be kind of my goofy self, but really try and share some awesome automotive stuff with you guys. Because today's a milestone episode, I thought it would be fun to look back and talk about why I started the blog in the first place, and then, move to video and some of the fun stories that revolved around me kicking off the blog. So it all really started out of frustration. It started out of frustration with the dealership that I work at. Their social media presence was awful. About May 2011, I actually had a conversation with my service manager, and we thought it might be cool to create a Facebook and Twitter account for the service department. We have a really cool service department, and we do a lot of things very different than a traditional automotive service department does, or at least did at the time in 2011. So we thought it would be fun to basically do what I do now and, share pictures of the weird stuff we see, some of the new things, new cars that come out, new accessories that we get, the kind of stuff that really no automotive places were doing at the time. Or if they were very few and far between. And I'll bet you almost none of them were dealerships. So we kind of put a plan together, and he approached management, and they didn't really like the idea of having separate places for customers to go. A Facebook page for sales, a Facebook page for service, a Facebook page for the dealer, which honestly, for the most part, turns out to be a Facebook page for sales to begin with. They were actually paying a company to do our social media for us, and I'll never forget this. So one of the New Year's resolution posts that they did, which was probably 2010 into 2011, was, what's our New Year's resolution? We're gonna smile more. I hope whoever wrote that got fired, because wow, what a disaster. But that got shot down pretty darn quick. So, we were told, no, we're going to do this other thing. So honestly, I was kind of mad. I thought, no one knows our service department better than we do. No one has the passion for what we do in this service department more than we do. Why aren't you going to let us do it? This is like the most perfect thing you could ever imagine. And it would have been free. But the powers that be decided to move in a different direction, which actually worked out awesome. So that is actually how the Humble Mechanic brand was born. Funny enough, it was actually born in Jessup, Maryland, while I was at Volkswagen training in the fancy Holiday Inn hotel. I figured since this was kind of my idea, I could probably do something really cool on my own. I wanted to give folks the same experience that they would get in the dealership online. So if you came to me as a customer and we had a conversation about your car, we would talk about doing different services, repairs that may need to be made. I wanted to take that and then move it online so that people could have that same experience, because let's face it, you don't really get that experience at every single service station that you take your car to. So I wanted to take all that we did at the dealership and bring it online. That would also give me a really good opportunity to share some really weird things that happen in the automotive industry with people that, I wouldn't get to talk to on a day-to-day. You can share it with other technicians, which is awesome, but when you share some of this stuff with people that aren't industry people, it's mind-blowing. That's actually how Shop Shots was born. If you've never checked out the blog and checked out Shop Shots, I'll put a link in the show notes, but man, there's some crazy pictures that I've posted over the years. So I was really jazzed up about starting this thing and doing Facebook and Twitter and learning all that, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So thank goodness for YouTube. That's how I sort of built the blog, and it was very much a disaster early on. And, tried to figure out how to do the Facebook pages and on and on and on. By no means a social media expert or novice or rookie, more like knucklehead. So I started writing on the blog, just kind of downloading my thoughts for the day. It became a really cool outlet to, if I had a really great day, I got the opportunity to share it with people. If I had a really crappy day, I had the opportunity to share it with people. On that note, I have always committed to make this a really positive thing, honest but positive, and not just, crap on the industry or beat up how bad sometimes being a technician could be. So between the writing and the pictures, I was able to share the cool stuff, the terrible stuff, and kind of the ugly side of the automotive industry with people. As that gained some traction, it's interesting, as you get traction, it's kind of motivating to keep going and make it better and do more and share more. I tried to work really hard on, upping the quality of my writing, sharing more pictures, telling a better story about whatever I happen to be talking about that day. Now, mind you, all the while I'm doing this, I'm not really talking about it at the dealership. I'm trying to keep it as low-key as possible. I think, I've mentioned it before, but there could be some really weird conflicts with what I'm talking about to you guys versus what happens at the dealership. So I try to keep it as low-key as possible, just to myself, and rock and roll and do the thing and share as much as I possibly could for you guys. So I spent, I would say, 2.5 years just writing, posting pictures, and talking about the industry. Well, you may remember last summer I got invited to Shell, and down to Houston for the race, and then back to Austin where I scored this sweet Ferrari jacket. I'm actually wearing this today because someone mentioned that they hadn't seen me wear it before. So here it is, the Ferrari jacket. It's actually one of my favorite coats. It's pretty awesome. So early on when I was starting the blog and I was doing writing, I always wanted to move to an audio or video format. But the truth be told is I was terrified to record my own voice, terrified to be on camera. So I didn't do it. I just stuck to writing. So mid to late 14, I decided, you know what, Charles, don't be dumb. This is something you wanted to do. Dude, just go do it. So I started to do it. And the first few shows were pretty crappy. It's me awkwardly fumbling through talking about stuff, even more so than now, if you can believe that. But I finally did it. I started. I had episode 1, and then 2, and then 10, and then 15. And here we are at 50. And honestly, I have zero plans on stopping. I want to get to 1,000, and how awesome is 1,000 going to be? It's just been such an interesting ride, from people saying I didn't know what I was talking about, to your writing sucks, to you're using the wrong grammar. To be fair, they were right about the grammar thing. To, some of the feedback I've gotten now, which is, we really like the show, you've helped us out, you explained something that I didn't know about. And that's really awesome. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, it's so motivating when you can help someone from 4,000 miles away with some little problem that they had, and now you mentioned something in a show or wrote a little article about something, and now they either understand it, or you helped them save some money by not getting taken advantage of at a service center. Which brings me to the most important thing. This show is really about you guys. This whole brand, the whole Humble Mechanic thing, everything that I do here is 100% for you guys. I owe all of this to each and every one of you that has read a blog post, seen a picture, liked a picture on Facebook, shared a post on Facebook, threw the video a thumbs up on YouTube, like I say at the end of every show, sent me an email saying hi, at the dealership even saying, hey Charles, how you doing? It's all for you guys. So truly, 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 thank you guys. This show is for you. Without you guys, there'd be no blog. There'd be no YouTube channel. There'd be no Facebook page. There'd be no Humble Mechanic podcast. There'd be no tool reviews or failed part videos. There'd still be the failed parts, though. Everything I build around the Humble Mechanic and around me and talking to you guys is 100% for you guys. So to anyone that has ever interacted in any way, thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it. You guys are the reason that I work so hard at this and try and make the show better each and every day, from better quality audio, a little bit better video, better editing skills by me, and trying to give you guys the shows that you're really looking for. Basically, I want to do the best possible show that I can for you guys. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. That's pretty much the story of how the Humble Mechanic podcast and blog was born. Kind of a cool story. I really, like I said, I like telling it because, it's fun to think about how frustrated I was with what was going on, to give myself the outlet that allows me to do this show for you, and then look at it and what it is now, and what I can see it being in the future. It's super exciting, super motivating, and it really makes me happy to think about it. So again, thank you guys so much for all your support over the years. I genuinely do appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comments section below. Hey, if you like the video, throw it a thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can subscribe on YouTube or on the blog at humblemechanic.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the blog, humblemechanic.com, and obviously on YouTube. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Today's beverage comes from Oscar Blues in Brevard, North Carolina. I've actually been there. Awesome brewery. This is their throwback